All right, friends, so this is section 3.5. And in section 3.5, it is all about slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b, where I'm going to color code this. M is, okay, our slope. Great vocab term. And the B is our y-intercept. Now, this is going to allow us to graph just like last section, except if it's in the form of y is equal to mx plus b instead of ax plus by equals c, then we're going to be able to solve and graph this way. I do not prefer one way or the other. I prefer to get to the answer as quick as possible. So some might say that's lazy. I don't like to take my time. I want to get to the answer the quickest way possible. So I will use any tool in my tool belt that I know that'll get the job done faster. So let's talk about slope. You know, slope is what is defining the difference between a black diamond on the ski slopes and a bunny hill, right? So there's really 4 types of slope here. So we're going to do quick sketches of all of those. Okay, so I'm going to provide you with some graph paper template. And I'm gonna do 2 right here because I don't want to take up a whole lot of space, and I will color code. Okay, so let's do all right, and I want you to know that we're always looking from left to right. So if we're looking from left to right and my line rises from left to right, that's going to be a positive slope, okay? Okay. So if it goes down from left to right, I better get my protractor out so I can draw a straight line here. All right, from left to right, I'm falling down. This would be a negative slope. Okay, or falls. I'm sorry. Okay. Questions on that? And then from last section, remember we had horizontal and vertical. So here we go. Let's do horizontal, right? And let's see what other color I have. Orange. Let's do vertical. Okay. And let's talk about the slope here. Okay. See this horizontal line? This is the perfect slope for me to rollerblade on because I don't know how to stop. So this has 0 slope, meaning it has no grade whatsoever. Okay, it's a 0 slope. In fact, when we're looking at slope, it has lots of change horizontally, but nothing vertically. Okay. Whereas in the vertical one, woo, that one is bad. Okay, that one I am going to have, and we say it is a undefined slope. Okay, it is a vertical line. Well, you know what? My body's going to be undefined when I hit the bottom because I am not going to do well rollerblading on that. Okay, so that's the basics of slope. And slope really is describing, okay? So if you would, let's put a box here. Slope is really talking about the difference or the change in your rise over your run, okay? That's rise over run. That really, my friends, is slope, okay? So that's really super important, like so important that I'm putting like colors around it for you to really understand the rise over run, okay? So you were really looking at steepness. We're really looking at our change in our rise, which is up and down, where our run is side to side, okay? And we have a formula for that. I should have made my line bigger, but I'll give you the formula down here. Here we go. It is calculated y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Now, you might ask, not I, okay? You might ask, well, that's great, but where did these points come from? Okay, these come from the points that you see on the line. So you have to have 2 points on the line. Okay, so for example, I'll just label them up here, x1, y1, and x2, y2. So let me just kind of, let me highlight these so that you could see where they show up, okay? Okay, so you need to label your points first, and then we can calculate. All right, so all right, are you ready? I want you to take a look at this, okay? And we're going to start out looking at slope, and we're going to see if we can calculate the slope and the y-intercept. All right? You see my line here? So if you need to stop the video so that you can draw this exact same line, that would be great. Okay, so our job is twofold. Number one, can you identify the slope? Number two, can you identify the y-intercept? Well, I could probably do one of these pretty easy. My y-intercept is yellow, right? Well, that's where it crosses the y-axis. So what's my y-intercept? Well, it's always going to be written 0. What number is that? 1, 2. That's a 0, 2. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to highlight that too right there. All right. Now let's count our slope. So our slope, I'm going to use my pink marker since slope. And I'm going to go from left to right. So I'm going to count, and I'm going to do rise over run. I'm going to show you actually how to do it, two different ways. Okay. I'm going to count, but then I'm also going to calculate. So let me do this. Let me get these 2 points. This is 1, 2, 3. -3, 0, and 0, 2. Okay? So the first thing I would do if I wanted to calculate these is I would label these x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay? And then I would go ahead and put them in my formula. y2 minus y1. So be careful. Oop, not y1. Oh, yikes. This is Bassett. What did I do? I went and grabbed my x, not my y. 2 minus 0, okay, are my y's. 0 minus a -3. All right, what's 2 minus 0? Well, that's 2. What is, 2 negatives make a positive, so that's 2/3. So 2/3 is my slope. Well, you know what? When we're given a graph, one other easy way we can do besides calculating is actually count. But we need to count our rise and then our run. So count your rise with me, would you? We're going to count up and over to this point. Up 1, 2, okay, over 1, 2, 3. Now notice those were both positive. Up is positive and to the right. So rise, over, run. Is that what we got? Yes, we did. All right, so all you have to do here is plug these into your equation, friends. Okay? So here we go. Y is equal to 2/3 x plus 2. Okay? All right. Let's try another one. And I'm going to let you count or okay? Or you can actually do the math. Okay? So I'd like you to stop the video and I want you to try this problem right here. Okay? Okay, welcome back. Number 1, slope. Okay? I can write down these 2 points. This is -1, 1. This is 0, -1. x1, y1, x2, y2. All right. If I were calculating, I would go -1 minus 1, and I would go 0 minus a -1. So let's see. Ooh, this is a -2 over 1. So -2 divided by 1 is still -2. You know what? I'm going to check that because I want to see if I'm going to get it. Well, this is weird. I go from left to right, and I always do rise or run. Well, I have to go down. 1, 2. If I go down, that's a -2, right? All right, and 1 to the right. Well, that's over 1. Is that what I got? Yeah, so I'm right on that. All right, well, what's the y-intercept? Well, that's easy. It's right here, where it crosses the y-axis. So that's at 0, -1, and I just care about the -1 part. All right, so all I got to do is plug this back in to my equation. I'm going to look over here, okay? Let's see, -2. If you'd like to put -2 over 1, you certainly can. -1. So here's my y-intercept, and here's my slope. Okay? All right, very good. So, the next piece is working on finding slope from a table, okay? And how do you find slope from a table? Looking at the change in y over the change in x, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you an xy table. So let's see, finding slope. And I'm just going to say that. So again, I want to show you what we're going to do. We can choose our points. Here we go. Are you ready? So 4 and 20, 7 and 14, 10 and 8 and 13 and 2. So this is my x and this is my y. Okay, so it says the points represented by each table lie on a line. Okay, so that's really good because I don't need to check to make sure that this goes up at a constant rate. I don't need to check if it's linear. It just told me. It says, how can you find the slope of each line from the table? What is the slope of each line? Okay, well, all you need to do is pick out 2 points for me, would you? All right, well, let's take the first 2, okay? So let's write these down. 4, 20, and 7, 14. All right, let's label them. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. All right, my formula, I'm going to put Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. That gives me my slope, friends. Okay, so here we go. Y2, okay, is 14 minus Y1, that's 20, over X2 minus X1. Okay, what do I get? What's 14 minus 20? Well, that's a negative 6. And what's 7 minus 4? That's 3. What is 6, negative 6 divided by 3? Well, that's negative 2. Now, if you'd like, you can still leave it negative 2 over 1 if you would so choose. Okay, that's not a big deal. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Pink, right? That's pink. Okay. So this is a negative slope, right? So we would say it falls. All right. How about another one? Wow, that's weird. That was weird, right? Huh. All right. It says it's a line. Is this a function? It's not, is it? Huh, that's weird. Huh, I wonder what that looks like. Well, pick me 2 points. Let's do these two in the middle, okay? I don't know why. Just because probably these two are positive. I really like 0. Oop, that's a 0. And negative 3, 6. All right, x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, here we go. I'm thinking about my formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, don't get ahead of yourself. Goodness gracious. I see this with my son. He can see a word coming up that he doesn't know, so he starts like trying to figure it out. Just figure out each piece. 6 minus 0 is 0, or 6. Ugh. Negative 3. Okay, 2 negatives make a positive. That's a 0. Yikes. Time out. I'm busting out my calculator because I just want to make sure. Because 6 divided by 0 is 0, right? Oh, what in the world? Divide by 0. That's right. Friends, this is a no. This is a number over a 0. That forms number over a 0. That forms no. That forms an undefined slope, friends. That's an undefined slope. You can't have 0 on the bottom. In fact, if you think about the way this is drawn, if I'm negative 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 0, and then 6, oh my goodness, I'm in a straight vertical line. No wonder I'm an undefined slope. Okay, I'm not gonna look very good when I get done rollerblading there. Okay. All right, last one, you try. Are you ready? Again, stop the video. You can pick whatever points you want, solve, and make sure that you watch the rest of the questions. So I'm going to go 3, 2. I'm going to go 5, 2, x1, y1, x2, y2, 2 minus 2 over 5 minus 3. Don't get ahead of yourself. 2 minus 2 is 0, and 5 minus 3 is 2. 0 divided by 2. Check it on your calculator. Yes, you can get a zero slope. This is a horizontal line. Okay, remember, this is the type that I want to rollerblade on. Okay. Questions on that? Okay, that's all for today for our first video. So there's a lot to this section, so make sure that you check the and do some practice. Thanks.